Hi, I'm Christy. Welcome to Weird and Witchy Shit, a place for, well, weird and witchy shit. Here we talk about everything from the magic of yoga, rituals, tarot, crystals, astrology, self-love, mental health, spiritual stuff, spooky things, and anything of the mystical variety. So if that sounds like the kind of shit you're into, then you're in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the coven. Let's talk about the mythology of Virgo, but before we get into it, here are a few Virgo facts. So Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac, following Leo. Virgo season is between the 23rd of August and the 22nd of September, and it is actually scientifically proven that people born in this time period are much more sexy than everyone else, and I come at that from a completely unbiased standpoint. It just so happens that my birthday is the 29th of August, so technically if we're listening to science, it would mean that I am among the sexiest of the people in the world. I don't make the rules. Virgo is an earth sign with negative polarity. This means that it is a feminine sign, and it is a mutable sign, which means it falls at the end of a season, and for Virgo this season is summer. The ruling planet for Virgo is Mercury, and the tarot card associated with Virgo is the Hermit. Some Virgo key words you'll normally hear are analytical, observant, precise, reliable, helpful, fussy, cold, critical, inventive, shy, organised, and worrisome. So I have already spoke about the mythology of Virgo before as part of my deity series that I did, and I speak all about Persephone and how she became queen of the underworld. That episode is definitely more story based, I guess, so it definitely is worth checking out if you want to dive a little bit more into the story. So Virgo is typically known as the Virgin, very pure, and this is actually represented by Persephone. Persephone was a beautiful young maiden. She was the daughter of Demeter, who is the goddess of harvest, and of Zeus, who is everybody's father. And as it always goes, she was young, she was beautiful, everybody wanted her, all the gods wanted her, and one god in particular, this god was Hades. Hades actually had a long-standing deal with Zeus that he could marry one of his children, and it just so happened that Persephone was the one that he decided that he was going to marry. Remember that Hades is Zeus's brother and Persephone's uncle. But anyway, that's not really relevant to the story. Just thought I should mention. So one day when Persephone was out walking in a field, Zeus opened up the earth, came on up in his chariot, took Persephone down to the underworld, and no one knew where she went to. This caused so much shit on earth because Demeter, Persephone's mother, was so heartbroken without her daughter that crops started to wither and die and people started to starve. So eventually Zeus ended up putting his foot down and told Hades that Persephone had to come back to earth to save everybody. But as it turns out, there is a rule in the underworld that if you consume any food while you're down there, then you will be forever belonging to that world. And it just so happened that Persephone had ate 6 pomegranate seeds. But to strike up a deal and keep everybody happy, Persephone would end up spending 6 months with her mother and the other 6 months of the year down in the underworld with Hades. And this is how the seasons also come about. When she's in the underworld, the crops are withering and dying and life kind of stops a little bit. And then when she returns, spring starts to springing, we get into summer, everything is in full bloom, everything is wonderful. While Virgo is always represented by the Virgin, this story kind of just goes to show the two sides of Virgo. So this like innocent, sweet, pure side of her was only one side, and then when she went down to the underworld she found this whole other side of herself. And like I said as well, Virgo can also be seen as this kind of cold, prudish, almost standoffish sign, which I feel like definitely can be true, but they are also very multidimensional. So just because that's maybe what you see on the outside, that might not necessarily be what's going on in the inside, because Virgos, much like Gemini, definitely have these both sides of them. It is worth mentioning that there is actually another version of the story as well, where the virgin goddess Astrea, who was daughter of Zeus and Themis, she was around during what was referred to as the Golden Age, pretty much where the gods and mortals were living together in harmony. But when the world started going to shit, she fled for the stars so that she could live up there instead. She literally said, fuck this shit, and she was off. If you'd like to continue the conversation, you can get me on Instagram at kristys_coven. That's KRISTYS_coven. You can also find me on YouTube at Kristys Coven, where I post a lot of free yoga classes and shit like that. And I'd love to have you join, because it's not a coven if it's just me. And until next time, bye!